It's an evil world we live in.
I've got a secret.
I worship the devil.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
You're doing these songs, you know, you're still on tour.
I do, but I don't take it for granted.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I mean, I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander on this earth, and this earth, and then in the world we can't see. Hey, Javis, how come they ain't killing us? We're in the spirit world, asshole. They can't see us.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
I sold my soul to the devil.
I know it's a crappy deal. This shit came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
I did a song called Fortunate Fan. And it's like the hook goes.
One thing we all adore, something worth dying for. Nothing but pain, stuck in this game, searching for fortune.
Fame, something we all adore. The one thing we dying for.
Nothing but pain, stuck in this game.
Searching for fortune and fame. That's what I hear. It's so basic that we all want to be famous and be noticed and watched, and we all want money and riches, and we all want to find us out of life from a
Lucifer, son of the morning, I'm gonna chase you out of earth.
I kind of sang about, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out.
So I sold my soul to the devil.
Yeah, well, sometimes they don't want to, and they're, Gaga, we can't get, the frequency's weird, and, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like,
If you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna...
I am misunderstood a lot at times. My music, my image, people have their whole thing about me, whether it be me being a devil worshiper or whatever. Besides them reading into my hand over my eye on my album cover.
Why is your hand over your eye on your album cover?
Because I'm a devil worshiper, what are you talking about?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hold on, let me explain something to them real quick. Before everybody starts screaming and saying, oh, like I told y'all earlier, you motherfuckers entered the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all motherfuckers going to hell right with me. So, let's get it. Oh, you already here. I'm so sorry. You can't get out. You're stuck. It's over. You heard the song a million times and you didn't even know. That's up, but I still love you anyway.
What did he say?
I just played the piano.
Today's daily random read comes from the book of John, chapter 6, from verses 25 through 40, entitled, Jesus is the true bread from heaven. And when they had found him on the other side of the sea, they said unto him, Rabbi, when camest thou hither? Jesus answered them and said, Verily, verily I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. Labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for the meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you. For him hath God the Father sealed. Then said they unto him, What shall we do, that we might work the works of God? Jesus answered and said unto them, This is the work of God, that ye believe on him whom he hath sent. They said therefore unto him, What sign shewest thou then, that we may see and believe thee? What dost thou work? Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, He gave them bread from heaven to eat. Then Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven, and giveth life unto the world. Then said they unto him, Lord, evermore, give us this bread. And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I said unto you, that ye also have seen me, and believe not. All that the Father giveth me shall come to me, and him that cometh to me I will in no wise cast out. For I came down from heaven, not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent me. And this is the Father's will, which hath sent me, that of all which he hath given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life. And I will raise him up at the last day. Once again, this daily random read comes from the book of John, chapter 6, from verses 25 through 40, entitled, Jesus is the true bread from heaven. Good evening, everybody. My apologies. My apologies for the trouble that we were having earlier. I thought it would be a great idea to go stream outside, and known to behold, the heat was killing my laptop. So I apologize for that. I had to bring it back inside, and we got a special one because we got a special co-host today from the usual show that we do here. Of course, for you guys in the foxhole, and even for you guys on the tubes that seen this show before, Java. But we got Uncool Paranoia with us today. So go ahead and unmute yourselves, guys.
Good afternoon.
Hey, what's happening, good people?
I'm excited to do this show. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. And the reason for that is because Tupac was like my favorite rapper of all times. Well, back in my early 20s and my late teens. And, you know, having to dig into this particular artist, I didn't realize a lot of things. But now that I do, I kind of feel stupid about being a big fan of his. But that's who we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about Tupac today. So, yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, Uncool, for the people who don't know you out in the other areas that we stream at, which is the Foxhole. You want to go ahead and plug your channel and all that stuff?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hello, everybody in the YouTube land, as well as everybody over there on the Foxhole side. Appreciate everybody for stopping by to listen to the stream. Really appreciate y'all. So I am Uncool Paranoia. I don't really stream, on other multiple platforms, which is pretty bad. I probably should. But guys, this is pretty much what I do. I like to share the gospel. I think I've only been doing content for since early 2021, so it really hasn't been that long. But I like to explore symbolism that's in movies, music, television, and whatnot, and compare current events to biblical prophecy. So if you search Uncool Paranoia on YouTube, I'm literally the only one. I will pop up, well, at least I should. So I'm incredibly honored to have been invited to join the TheSpeakUNeazy and Mr. Java today to discuss this artist. So TheSpeakUNeazy talking about he's excited, man. I've been excited since I received the invite a couple days ago. So
wow,
trust.
Wow.
So yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. How about you, Java? I mean, was there something like really interesting that you bumped into when you were doing the research on Tupac?
Well, a lot of the things that I ran into were people trying to dig into whether he had any Illuminati type ties. Basically, like all the articles kept going back to that topic. How deep was he involved? A lot of people think that he himself wasn't involved, but he was trying to get rid of them.
I don't know.
Digging deeper, it seems more like he was trying to get out of it.
Well,
because what we've established with a lot of these artists in the industry, in order to be successful, they have to delve pretty far into that stuff.
Yeah, they do. But when the digging that I was doing, man, it was weird because it almost seemed as if this whole thing was planned out for him to exit the way he did. And with his last album, with the picture of him being crucified, it was a mockery. And some of the things that I looked into, I said, wow, this guy is really mocking Christ big time. Down to the point of some of the tattoos that he has, and we'll be discussing that later on. But yeah, I mean, this is why we got three people from three different perspectives. And the best thing about this is that you get to the folks out there get to determine their own conclusion to all these things with all these different angles that we're going to be adding on to the cornucopia.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, and people can make their decision about what is and what is not. And this is probably one of the best things, one of the good reasons why we have multiple people putting their 2 cents on things, so that people can come to their own conclusion and just hear it from different perspectives. So anyhow, so yeah, let's go ahead and start going into this. As I said, we're going to be talking about Tupac today. And the song that we're going to be breaking down is going to be So Many Tears. Now, for you guys on the YouTube side, unfortunately, due to the games that we have to play with YouTube and the copyright infringement stuff, when we get to the video playing part, I'm going to have to cut the stream from there. But if you do want to follow, what I'll do is I'll put my link tree there, and you can go to the because I'm streaming on Foxhole and Twitch right now. So you can go to either one of those places if you want to follow us when we do the music video breakdown. And I think Uncool said that she wanted to break that down a lot too, because she did a lot of her research just based on the song and the music video. So anyhow, let's go ahead and start the biography of Tupac first, and then from there we'll go on different. We'll talk about different things. We'll go through the lyrics, and then things will fall into place after that. So same old usual thing. We'll do a couple paragraphs each, and we'll rotate. So let me go ahead and share this screen with you guys first. Share. Let me know if you guys can see it. Can you guys see it?
I see a black screen. Up there it is.
Okay. Now let me share it with people out there. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I'll start it off first. So the bios I always get from allmusic.com. Article reads here: Tupac biography by Stephen Thomas Erlewine. A natural ability to appeal to hedonists and revolutionaries alike, combined with charismatic star power and unapologetic threat, made Tupac one of the most fascinating and successful rappers of the 90s. And, to be quite honest, man, that was one of the things that really, that's what really got me hooked on Tupac, because of his style. Let's see here. These qualities, along with his oft imitated but never replicated flow, have made him an enduring influence on hip-hop decades after his tragic death. Tupac emerged in 1991 as an ancillary member of Digital Underground, appearing on the group's top 10 R&B hip-hop single, Same Song, and by the end of the year earned a reputation as a firebrand with his acclaimed solo debut, Tupacalypse Now. This was followed at the top of 1992 with a star-making performance in the crime thriller Juice. His first of major acting roles. In only few more years, Tupac racked up a slew of varied top 20 pop hits, from I Get Around and Keep Your Head Up to Dear Mama and the chart-topping California Love, and put together a concurrent streak of platinum full-lengths, named Strictly for My N-Word in 1993, Me Against the World in 95, and All Eyes on Me 96. Even considering the turbulent life he led, his murder in September 1996, you like that? 9 and the 6, came as a shock. Tupac's legacy has grown exponentially with help from over a half dozen top 10 posthumous releases, a greater number of documentaries, and an induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Right. Whoever's next. Don't matter who.
I'll go ahead. Yeah, that's interesting. All the 9s with his date of death. That's crazy. Yep. All right. So the son of 2 Black Panther members, Tupac Amaru Shakur, was born in New York City. His parents had separated before he was born, and his mother moved him and his sister around the country for much of their childhood. Frequently, the family was at the poverty level, but Shakur managed to gain acceptance to the prestigious Baltimore School of Arts as a teenager. While he was at the school, his creative side flourished as he began writing raps and acting. Before he could graduate, his family moved to Marin City, California, when he was 17 years old. Over the next few years, he lived on the streets and began hustling. Eventually, he met Shock G, the leader of Digital Underground. The Oakland-based crew hired him as a dancer and roadie. You'll see some of the early Tupac dance videos. It's just weird, like, come on now. Like, and we supposed to believe this. Yes.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to believe this dude was a gangster. I'm sorry, y'all. All right. So the Oakland-based crew hired him as a dancer and roadie, and as he toured with the group, he worked on his own material. In January 1991, Shakur made his first recorded appearance as Tupac on Same Song, a #7 R&B hip hop hit from the group's This Is an EP release. He also appeared on their second full-length Sons of the P, issued that October a month later. Oh, a month later, Tupac released his solo debut, Tupacalypse Now, for Interscope Records. The album reached number 63666 on the Billboard Top 200 and eventually went gold with help from Brenda's Got a Baby, a single that peaked at number 23, 2 divided by 3.666, on the R&B hip hop chart. More attention came from Vice President Dan Quayle, who condemned the lyrics of Soulja's Story while campaigning for re-election that year. Interesting stuff.
Mr. Potato himself.
Yeah, Dan Quayle.
Tupac's profile was raised considerably by his acclaimed role in the Ernest Dickerson film Juice, which led to a lead role in John Singleton's Poetic Justice the following year. By the time the film hit theaters, Tupac had released his second album, Strictly for My, which became a platinum recording, peaking at number 4 on the R&B hip hop chart, number 24 on the Billboard 200. There's that 24 again. And launching the top 10 R&B hip hop singles, I Get Around and Keep Your Head Up, which peaked at number 11 and 12 respectively on the Hot 100. Late in 1993, he acted in the basketball movie Above the Rim.
As Tupac sold records and earned praise for his music and acting, he began having serious altercations with the law. He faced numerous criminal and civil cases, and in 1994 was found guilty of sexual assault. The day before the verdict was announced, he was robbed, beaten, and shot by how many men? 3 men. 3 men while he was in the lobby of a New York City recording studio. In February 1995, Tupac was sentenced to 18 months. Divide that one by, yeah, exactly. Divide that by 3. To 4.5 years in prison, and began serving his sentence later that month. He was in jail when his third album, Me Against the World, was released in March. The record entered the Billboard 200 at number 1, making Tupac the first artist to top the chart while serving a prison sentence. While he was in prison, he accused Notorious B.I.G., Puffy Combs, Andre Harrell, and his own close friend Randy Stretch Walker of orchestrating his New York shooting. Tupac served only 8 months of his sentence as Suge Knight, the president of Death Row Records, arranged for parole and posted bond for the rapper. By the end of the year, Tupac was out of prison and working on his debut for Death Row. Meanwhile, Tupac received his first 2 Grammy nominations. Me Against the World was up for the Best Rap Album, while the ballad Dear Mama, a number 9 pop hit, was among the nominees for Best Rap Solo Performance.
Tupac's Death Row debut, All Eyes on Me, was the first double disc of original material in hip-hop history. It debuted at number 1 upon its February 1996 release and would be certified quintuple platinum by the fall. Although he had another hit album, a number 1 pop single, the Dr. Dre collaboration California Love, and 3 more Grammy nominations to his credit, Tupac was tiring of hip-hop and started to concentrate on acting. During the summer of 1996, he completed 2 films, the thriller Bullet and the dark comedy Gridlocked, which also starred Tim Roth. He also made some recordings for Death Row, which was quickly disintegrating without Dre as the house producer, and as Knight became heavily involved in illegal activities.
It's interesting that All Eyes on Me sounds kind of like an Illuminatus type of title as well.
Yeah, it also sounds kind of like Big Brother-ish too, right? If you think about it, yeah.
You think about that, the pyramid, the eye and the pyramid and everything.
Yep. I mean, even if you notice some of the photo shoots that they had for that album, yeah.
So at the time he was murdered, September 1996, there were indications that Tupac was considering leaving Death Row and maybe even rap behind. None of those theories can be confirmed, just as the reasons behind his shooting remain mysterious. Following an altercation in the lobby of the MGM Grand Las Vegas, Tupac was shot 4 times while riding in Knight's sedan. He was admitted to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada and died from his wounds 6 days later,
How convenient.
September 13th.
Yeah, hang on, Uneasy. It's pretty interesting how this is written. Knight Sedan makes me think of Knights Templar, and then it was on September 13th, Number of Rebellion. So this is crazy. You know, now that we have a particular understanding of how this stuff works on a spiritual level. You know?
Yep. Yeah, and that, you know, I was foolish to even have like, I was so into Tupac. I was really, you can ask my wife, man. I was so into Tupac that not realizing that being into this kind of music, which is probably one of the reasons why I can't listen to hip hop, is because you invite these spirits into your life, man. And I'm just glad that I can't listen to hip hop like I used to. So praise God for that.
Absolutely.
Let me go ahead and read here. Hundreds of mourners appeared at the hospital upon news of Tupac's death, and the entire entertainment industry mourned his passing. There were no leads in the case, but many believed the tragedy would end the much hyped East Coast West Coast hip hop rivalry. And looking at that now, I honestly think that was all conjured up and staged to create some kind of division with people. That's just the way I look at it. The way I look at how politics is now is exactly the same way I look at how that whole West Coast, East Coast thing went. Sadly, 6 months after the murder of Tupac, the notorious B.I.G. was murdered under similar circumstances. As Tupac's profile increased in the wake of his death, a series of top 10 posthumous releases followed. Among the first were Don Illuminati, The 7-Day Theory, issued under the alias Machiavelli in 1996. Are You Still Down, Remember Me, 1997. Still I Rise, 99. As well as the top 40 Grammy nominated single Changes. Additional albums Until the End of Time, 2001. Better Days, 2002. Loyal to the Game, 2004. Pac's Life, 2006. Followed the next decade. There have been well over a dozen Tupac documentaries, such as the Academy Award nominated Tupac Resurrection. In 2017, Tupac was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by Snoop Dogg, which is kind of ironic because the rumor out there is that they both didn't get along with each other. That was towards the end of Tupac's life. The rumor was that they weren't getting along with each other. That was the rumor, which is kind of weird, right?
Well, and it's interesting that his main productivity years was just like 2 or 3 years of productivity, and he gets in the Hall of Fame. But then there's artists that have been performing and writing music for decades that still aren't in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. All right. So that's a little background on Tupac. What's this? What is this? Dismiss. Okay. So first off, I want to open up by talking about his name. And there was a few things that I found here that I want to share. I found this article here. Okay, let me blow this up here because my eyes are getting bad, and I'm pretty sure there's people out there with bad eyes too. Okay, so this article comes from tupaclegacy.net. Okay, I'll read it. Tupac Shakur's birth name and significance of name change. So, originally his name was Lassane Parish Cook. Tupac Shakur originally named her son Lassane Parish Cooks. When he was a year old, she legally had Crook's name changed to Tupac Amaru Shakur. Tupac's name means shining serpent. That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Tupac, the name Tupac. But I even looked it up here because I did a little etymology on that. And if we look here, it says here on Wikipedia, it's called a royal thing. And then on top of that, if you go down here, there was a Tupac Amaru revolutionary movement back in the days of old. And I know her. I know Tupac's mom was like a Black Panther, which was probably they were like pretty much a communist group, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And they were tied, and this revolutionary movement was tied with Marxism right there. So I did a little bit on that, and then when I went to his, let me continue the article here. I know I'm jumping back and forth here. An avid reader, Afeni Shakur was inspired to change her son's name after something with a powerful meaning, according to a profile piece on the rapper and activist's name on the track record. The first known Tupac Amaru was the last indigenous monarch of Inca, which is what I just showed you guys. The second known person to carry the name was Jose Gabriel Condorcanqui, better known as Tupac Amaru II. He was an 18th century Peruvian revolutionary of indigenous blood who led the largest indigenous uprising in Spanish American colonial history. So she pretty much did that because of the roots of the whole revolutionary thing. And then when I did the second part of his name, which is Amaru, let me blow that up. Can you guys see that? It means serpent or dragon in the Inca mythology. So if you take a look at it now, right? So far we got royal, right? Royal thing. And then goes to a royal serpent, right? Royal serpent or dragon. And then I looked up his last name, Shakur, which is Arabic, and it means to thank. So it's thanking the royal serpent. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. That's sick, man.
That is crazy, which is why I'm led to believe that this whole building up of Tupac from the get-go was planned. Like, I think the pathway was set for him, and I think he knew. This is why he kind of wrote the way he wrote in his raps, where he was saying that he's going to be dying soon, where they say that he's predicting his own death. But it doesn't end there. It gets a little bit more twisted here too. And that's just his name. So I did a little digging on his tattoos. Okay, not all of them, but just a couple of them. Hold on, let me trying to find here. Where is that? Here we go. Okay, so the one I want to concentrate on. There's two tattoos here that I want to concentrate on. So this first tattoo with this cross and Exodus 1831. There is no Exodus 1831. If you look in scriptures, right? I'll pull it up right now to see if there is an Exodus 1831.
Wow, man.
18, is there a 31? See, it only goes up to 27. So there's no Exodus 1831, but there is an interesting passage here. If you go to Exodus 22, 29, okay, and follow me with this, okay? Just follow me. I know I'm not the most articulate person here, but just try to track me. All right, so Exodus 22 verse 29 reads, "Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits, and of thy liquors, the firstborn of thy sons shalt thou give unto me. So this is pretty much explaining like an offering, right? You guys following me? It's explaining an offering with liquors. Now, liquors back then is like wine. So they pretty much call it juice. So if you, man, I didn't pull it up here, but I wrote it on my notes. So if juice in Hebrew is dima, and that's what they used when I looked it up in the Strong's Concordance. And the thing with Strong's Concordance is that they use numbers to label the Hebrew translations of each word. So when you look up the Strong's Concordance, what number that dima is, guess what number it is? 1831. 1831 is the number of dima, which is juice. So that's what the 1831 equates to on his tattoo. Juice. Which is weird because wasn't he in the movie Juice also?
Absolutely.
So you guys following this? This is like, when I found out about this, I was like, this is just too coincidental. Too coincidental.
So pretty much this tattoo is alluding to his blood sacrifice in so many words.
Yes. I mean, he's pretty much, because if you, like I said, if you go here to Exodus, right, it sounds like you're giving up an offering, right? With the liquors, with the wine. That's what you're doing.
That's crazy.
Right? So he's pretty much saying that he's going to offer himself. And if you think about it, who did God send here to sacrifice for us?
Jesus.
Exactly. So what he's doing, he's making a mockery of Jesus. And he did it with, he's been doing it, and he's been persecuted with all the accusations of him, R-wording women and all these things, and the media was like persecuting him when he was going through his ordeals, and then having to name his last album the 7-Day Theory, because 7 days is how many days God took for the creation. Of course, he took rest on the seventh day, but it's the whole week. So it's a mockery of God is pretty much what I concluded with when I did this research on his tattoos. And then check this one out. Another one about his tattoo. So over here on the top, his tattoo is F the world. What does John 3:16 say?
Love the world.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it's a mockery of he was just a walking mockery of the Lord. From what I've concluded about, just doing the research here, which blew my mind. And he already knew. I mean, he was writing his songs so-called predicting his own death. And the song that we're talking about today, it's one of those songs that kind of predicts his own passing. So it's just mind-blowing, man. It's
so real quick also with this this tattoo, the 1831. If since we were breaking it down with the Hebrew numerical equivalent of, because like most of the words like in Hebrew have numerical values, like you were saying, that's associated with the Kabbalah. And the Kabbalah is one of the things that's heavily utilized by Masonic people deep up into the Masonic territory, and also, which would be also like the alluding into the whole Illuminatus type of thing as well.
Yes.
Like the techniques of breaking down numbers into words, that's deep in the Kabbalah and everything, and like plays right into the whole theory about him being part of that group and stuff.
I wouldn't say he was part of it, but he definitely was a puppet for them.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I mean. Like, he's not like part of the upper echelon or anything.
Yeah, I mean,
the media people are just tools utilized by the powers that be.
All these guys are just used to influence the people out there. Unfortunately, man, there's just so many people who are just buying into this stuff, man. They're fans of these people, and I'm guilty of it because I was a huge fan of this dude. I was a huge fan. It's surprising to me that I still know some of his songs. You know, like when I was reviewing the video for today, I was like, man, I can still rap this song. This is crazy, and it's not one of those things that I like. Knew that I could still, that I didn't know that I still memorized it, but I did. I do. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. This stuff gets ingrained on a spiritual level. And I feel like a lot of these individuals are born into it. Like they're born into satanic cults and witch covens, and they pray over the wombs. And these children are marked from birth.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
They're born into certain bloodlines. So, and then they come on television and say, hey, if you work hard and you really try, you can make it to the top, when that couldn't be further from the truth, unless you are a part of the bloodline.
Yep.
This
absolutely.
individual here is a prime example of that, because this is insane, man.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna say this real quick. What I want you to do, Uneasy, is just have this tab in the background, because once I show some of the things I found, I'm gonna have you pull this tab back up, because I just noticed something that's gonna blow your socks off. So
okay. Well, if you got something, shoot me the link, and I'll if you got something that or what I'll do is I'll give you a screen. I'll let you screen share. Let me and I'll even allow you Java to screen share too. Let me just do the settings here real quick. Where am I? Screen share. Let me just allow you guys to screen share. It's amateur hour right now, man, because I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Advanced host all participants. There we go. Who can start sharing when someone else is sharing? All participants. Okay, I think I got it here. Yeah, so if you guys have something that you want to share, just go ahead and you can start to share if you want. Cool. Okay, so right now we're on that. So, who wants to go up next to share what they found?
I guess I'll go ahead. Let me see. Well, you know what? I think I'll go after we go through the lyrics, after we actually get into the song. So go ahead, Java.
Okay.
Okay, so I just wanted to touch a little bit on his last album, where he went under the pseudonym Machiavelli. That Machiavelli is actually a philosopher that he was studying at the time, and Machiavelli basically faked his death, staged his death, and then came back 7 days later and surprised and trapped his enemies.
Yes.
And so the 7-day theory, subtitle of that album, also some people speculate that is associated with Machiavelli's maneuver to staging his own death. And they tied that, since that came out after Tupac died, they kind of almost like he was alluding like he was doing the same thing. There's all that, all those, that's where those theories of him faking his death or whatever, that's where it all came from Machiavelli himself. Well, so it was interesting that he titled that album that.
Well,
that's interesting.
The thing that makes me look at it now as to why he's blaspheming the Lord is because the album cover itself, you see him crucified like Christ, and he calls it the 7-day theory, and he's using Machiavelli where he fakes his death and comes back to life, which is like a mockery of, you know, Christ rising from the dead after being crucified. I mean, it's not after the 3 days of death, but or after the 3 days after the crucifixion, but it's another way of saying, like, you know, I'm resurrecting again, kind of, you know what I mean?
Right, that's what led people to think that he was doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's where I'm
Which
at
makes
now.
the whole Exodus part of his tattoo, you know, tie that into it as well.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, leaving the land of the known, or like the living, you know, so to speak.
Hey, check this out, you guys. Now, when you mentioned the 7-day theory, check this out. So we're going to be talking about the song So Many Tears, right? I looked into, since you mentioned, you know, 7, I looked into the date where the album actually released, March 14th, 1995. I looked up the mirror date of this album. Was actually October 19th is the mirror date. So I was curious what was famous or popular at the time, October 19th, 1995. The number one movie was the movie 7.
What?
Wow.
Absolutely.
You
This
know,
is happening on a spiritual level, guys.
these people, they're very meticulous about the things that they plan, man. And it's going to go past right through a lot of people's heads that don't know what's going on. And it's weird because I never used to think about these kind of things, but now that I'm into, like, now that I'm finding Christ, and it's all to the glory of God, because without him I wouldn't have these spiritual eyes to discern stuff. And he's, you know, making me connect with you guys. You guys help me to see more other things too, biblically. So this is crazy, man. This is not, I mean, people like to say, like, oh yeah, it's satanic, but people don't understand the depth of how evil this thing really is. It's very evil. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier too about how do I still memorize these lyrics? You know, it's one of those things that just stays with you on purpose. So this is crazy, man. This whole music industry is full of magic, like real magic.
Well, yeah, songs or spells.
Yep.
So also just real quick on that album, to wrap that section up, is the whole you know, kill Illuminati part. You know, because a lot of people I think it's, you know, to me it seems like it's and this, our today's song kind of goes into it as well, but it's like his desire to leave that whole club behind, possibly, which is why, you know, some people theorize that that's why he like that if he did stage his death and disappears to get out of that group. So it's just interesting that the Machiavelli and the Kill Illuminati and everything are all in the same title.
Yeah, the Illuminati, the 7-day theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, back then,
mixed with the Machiavelli,
like,
so it's kind of, so it makes me think that the whole message is all, since it's all in the same title, it's all kind of put together.
You know, back then I could say that, yeah, he was probably trying to get out, but like I said, man, now that I'm reading scriptures and I'm learning, like, I'm seeing things in a spiritual eye, I'm beginning to see that maybe this is more of a blasphemous stuff. I mean, you know, of course people are going to think that, yeah, he was trying to get out. I can't really see that anymore, especially with all the markings on his body that he has. You know, it's counter of what he was trying to, like, what people think he's trying to do, which is to get out. Looked like he was trying to entrench himself even more deeper into it, but in a different level. You know what I mean? he's trying to go deeper than he's trying to go more spiritual, I think. Just based on what he marks himself with, you know? Because if you're really trying to get out of there, you wouldn't be marking yourself up like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's just my thought.
Right. That's yeah. I was just saying what people out there are theorizing about, but
Yeah, and I would
it could be a misdirect.
I could definitely think that way if you know, just being me not being in my journey with God right now, if that was completely out of the mix, then yeah, I could definitely see how that theory can jive. But man, especially with all these artists that we've been talking about, man, these people, they're sick, man. They a lot of them, they want to go deeper. They want to go deeper. And we see a lot of these artists going deeper and being so blatant about it. Like, who's the latest one? Doja Cat. She's the latest one, right? That's crazy, man. She's dressed up like a one of those demons, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Indeed. I agree. I don't think he was trying to get out of it either. I think this dude was used on a deep supernatural spiritual level. And I think that was just a way to, you know, to get people talking about it, because whether you talk about, you know, how he could have been sacrificed or he's still alive, we're still giving energy to the ritual either way.
Right.
And that was I feel like that was the entire point.
And I honestly, now that you mention ritual, I honestly think that the whole East Coast, West Coast thing was a whole ritual. They sacrificed two of the biggest rap stars of that time. The biggest one from the West, which is Tupac, and the second one, Biggie, on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So it was a huge ritual. I mean, just looking at it now, it's a huge ritual. But now that leads me to think, well, usually when you're going to sacrifice, right, it has to be somebody who sacrifices somebody. So who was the person who actually allowed all of these things to happen? That's my question now, because now that I think about it, I'm like, okay, so you took out the two biggest rap stars of the 90s, and I know Jay-Z kind of rose to the top. He shot up to the top real fast. The guy's not even that great in rapping, just my opinion.
Absolutely not. I agree.
Just my opinion, you know? But for some odd reason, you see where he's at now? This dude he's a billionaire.
Yeah. Well, he definitely played ball with the club.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So my question is, like, who was he? You know, and this is just a question. I'm not trying to accuse or anything like that, but I'm just wondering, like, who allowed those two rappers to go so that somebody else could be successful? That's the only question I got, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Crickets.
Well, it's same, and it's very oddly symbolic that the artists are on death row, and then they ended up dying.
Yeah, the irony of that,
like,
huh?
Sick joke. It's entirely sick. All of it. Yeah. All of it truly is.
They do that all the time, though. They mock all the time. They show, like, they do things blatantly to show how, like, look what we're doing in front of your face. You guys can't even see it. They do this all the time. I mean, we see this with the politics right now. They do it all the time.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like the East Coast West Coast thing is emblematic of politics itself, of the left right paradigm. And the crazy thing is that he knew it. He said it in an interview with Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg was kind of looking like, "Uh-oh, Pac just gave away everything." He was just saying, you know, the East Coast West Coast was perpetuated to do blah 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 blah. So he kind of just spit it out there. He knew what was going on. He knew this was a left right paradigm thing.
Oh, that kind of reminds me. There is a video of one of Tupac's last interview and it was Snoop Dogg was with him, and just Snoop Dogg he knew something was coming because the reaction on his face was like blank. He had a blank stare. Let me see if I could share that. Give me a minute here. Let me
Yeah, the particular interview I'm talking about, he had a crazy stare too, and his eyes were just moving left and right. He was looking like shook, like, uh-oh. Soon as Pac had mentioned the East Coast, West Coast thing was contrived in this interview, you know, he knew like, okay, yeah, like you just kind of let the cat out of the bag, bruh.
I think this is the same interview, but you can see Snoop's face. Let me just pull, I'm trying to find it here. Okay, here, I got it. Let me just prepare it first before I... Let me prepare this here. It was just... Okay, this is weird, man, because the reaction on Snoop's face says a lot. It says a lot. It's almost as if he knows something was about to go down.
Isn't September one of the periods of sacrifice for that?
I don't know.
Group, like Luciferians.
Yeah, I think it's when it starts. It starts some point in September.
Yeah, because there's one in there's the 40 days of sacrifice, like in the spring, but then yeah, there's another one in September.
All right, check this video out. Go ahead, put yourselves on mute. I'll put myself on mute.
That's good. You cool? No, I'm straight. I can share with dog.
I'm straight. That's Mountain Dew. That shit nasty as a motherfucker. You try to do no bungee jump.
I just wanted to clear my throat.
You lost best rap video. You'd all disappointed about that?
Oh no, I didn't lose. See, because I sold 6.5 million copies, so I won.
When all these famous people get together, what's the one thing you take away? Is everybody much shorter than you thought? I know a lot of people find Snoop and say, you know, 6'4". I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
But do people seem shorter? There's a lot of attitude going on. What's the one thing you take away?
Oh, it's a lot of attitude, of course, because nobody thought we would show up here. But you know, we always feel like we keeping it real. Not scratch that. We always felt like we're being true to everything we've always stayed representing. And our audience is worldwide. We're not even on no, you know, we coming out here and there's some East Coast, West Coast. We got beef with the people we got beef with. But we could go anywhere in the country because we are America's most wanted.
Exactly.
So you can't stop the flow.
Can't stop what America wants.
On that note, I know that Biggie and Puffy are here tonight. Did you see them? Do you have anything to say to them at all?
Nah, but even if we saw them, we are businessmen. We are not animals. It's not like we're gonna see them and rush them and jump on them. If they see us and they want drama, we're gonna definitely bring it like only Dev Row could bring it. But we here as businessmen to enjoy and
support the
Video Music Awards for MTV because they support us. So if they want to come and use this business opportunity to get on some gangster, you know, we do that better than anybody.
Can you envision a day when, you know, y'all, if not get together and make an album, just peacefully coexist?
There's no dream of making an album with Biggie and Puffy or none of them. We're not sweating it like that.
This is our family
We
over
peacefully
here.
coexist right now because we all cool. Everybody's here. They sell records. We sell records. Well, I guess you could call that selling records. What they do. We sell large amounts of records, and they sell a few records. And really, it's no competition. People are really making too much out of it than it is. It's really just if you want to talk. We're gonna make it specific as to what you can talk about and what you can't talk about. And the East Coast, West Coast thing is something that the journalists and people are making up just to get paid off it so it can drag out. So they're perpetuating it so it could be drama, which I still love MTV, but when it all go down, don't look at me and Biggie and be like, why is there a big East Coast, West Coast war when you're shooting this to 300 homes, 300 countries, telling them about an East Coast, West Coast war that they would never know exists. So that's where information becomes a problem. When
And
MTV
if it did,
News gotta be the ones to let you know.
If it did exist, Pac, we wouldn't be here. So
Right, and if it
let you know
exists,
it's
how we gonna be
non-existent.
sitting in New York talking about it? We'll try to be better role models, and y'all try to stop putting that drama out there. You got a lot of power, a lot of responsibility. We both do. We both need to exercise greater restraint.
Right. All right. I'm not sure if that was the video, but there was a video that I saw with it was this interview. I'm not sure if it was one of these clippings, but it was in this particular interview that Pac was talking, and Snoop Dogg's face, like you can tell that he kind of knew something was gonna happen. He had that look like he knew something was up that none of like Pac didn't know. So
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because they were having the exact same conversation and he was looking shook. So
yeah,
we thinking about the same video. So they did that a couple times. So that's crazy.
yeah, they know those guys know who did him in. They know.
Yep.
But it's the street mentality of don't rat is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, shall we go ahead and enter lyrics, or is there anything else that you guys want to share as far as what you guys found?
Oh yeah, let's go into lyrics.
Lyrics? Okay, let's go lyrics. Let me just share this screen with peeps out there, and let me share it with you guys. All right.
He was really going through it seemed like he was going through a lot by the time he wrote this song, man.
This was, this was one of his most, this album right here was definitely a turning point in his rap career. This was definitely like one of the greatest rap albums of that time, of that year. And I think it was Biggie's Ready to Die that was kind of competing with this album right here during that time, if I remember right. All right, so So Many Tears is the song that we're going to be breaking down. And off the bat, I kind of want to say that based on this song, my opinion is that he's, the way it seems like, well, let's go ahead and talk about the lyrics first, and then I'll give what I think, because it's kind of stupid for me to talk about this and then read the lyrics. So let's go ahead and do the lyrics first. Any one of you guys want to jump on it first?
Yep, I'll go ahead.
Cool.
All right, so we got the intro here. And Tupac always wanted to, try to get people to believe he was worshiping God. So here we go. I shall not fear no man but God. Though I walk through the valley of death, I shed so many tears. If I should die before I wake, please God walk with me. Grab a and take me to heaven. Tupac did this a lot, where he often portrayed
preface.
You could just do whatever. You said what?
No, like he was prefacing what he was about to talk about or something.
Yeah, and he often portrayed that there was a heaven that you can just go to if you live and do whatever you want. You can still go to heaven. He did that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, wonder if heaven got a ghetto.
Thug's Mansion, yeah. All right, let me go.
That's one of those do what thou wilt type of tenets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. All right, verse. It says here, back in elementary, I thrived on a misery. Man, I'm beginning. I'm already wanting to do melodic here, man.
You in the rhythm?
Yeah, I'm trying to go. I'm trying not to. Let me alone. I grew up amongst a dying breed. So, I mean, it already sounds like he has no hope just being born, right? And you were talking about this too, Uncle, about how he was destined for this. Mm-hmm. Inside my mind couldn't find a place to rest until I got that thug life tatted on my chest. Tell me, can you feel me? I'm not living in the past. You wanna last? Be the first to blast. Remember Kato? I'm assuming Kato is one of his homies back in the streets.
Remember Kato?
No longer with us. He's deceased. Call on the sirens. Seen him murder in the streets. Now he rests in peace. Is there heaven for a G? Remember me? So many homies in the cemetery shed so many tears.
There's that capital letter G. That's Masonic right there.
So Masonic. Yep. And I've got one question. So what does he mean right here when he mentioned the sirens?
Right? And reminded me of the mythology.
Yes, that's what I thought about. I'm like, are those the temptress sirens, like the demonic spirits, the water serpents?
I think so. Because he even though he says God's name in heaven, I don't think he's talking about the God that people think he's talking about.
Absolutely not. Because the sirens carry your soul to death. They carry you to death, right?
Mm-hmm. So like I said, man, this is one of those songs that he was already projecting that he's, he wasn't going to be here for a long time. All right. So the chorus goes, I suffered through the years and shed so many tears. Lord, I lost so many peers and shed so many tears. All right, second verse.
Now that I'm struggling in this business, by any means, label me greedy, getting green, but seldom seen. And F the world, because I'm cursed. I'm having visions of leaving here in a hearse. God, can you feel me? Take me away from all the pressure and all the pain. Show me some happiness again. I'm going blind. I spend time in this cell, ain't living well. I know my destiny is hell. Where did I fail? My life is in denial. And when I die, baptized in eternal fire, I'll shed so many tears.
What happened? There's a lot going on in that verse, man. There's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Struggling in this business. So he's obviously talking about the music industry. He's definitely talking about that. Getting into the worldly. Why does this thing keep jumping? Getting into the worldly things of like money, right? Label me greedy, getting green. And here, one of this third line right here, it says, "F the world, because I'm cursed." It goes again against the John 3:16, with his tattoo in the back.
And it's like, why would he be cursed unless he's already sold his soul or whatever? And the whole thing about by any means, like that's an interesting line right there for me.
Now that I'm struggling in this, I see what you're saying. You're willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah, to succeed.
Oh, man. And then it says here, I'm having visions of leaving here in a hearse. Like, honestly, who thinks about, who's excited to even want to think about death? You know what I'm saying? It's only bad spirits that want you to make you feel that way.
See, that's how pop culture is, though. There is an obsession with death, the culture of death, like skulls and stuff everywhere. So yeah, he really
That's true.
Put it physically and have people still worshiping the culture of death through this guy. So yeah, I just feel like he was a multifaceted psyop. Like,
so
he covered many bases.
So absolutely, it's a spiritual thing, because if you ingrain things like this in lyrics, people will remember it. And like I said earlier, I start to rap these things, and I'm like, dude, I still remember the songs. So it's ingrained in you very subtly. Yeah. So I think it's also spiritual. It's a strong spiritual thing going on there too.
And so, like, to encapsulate the entire verse there, you have like doing things by any means. And because of that, he knows his destiny is hell. It just, to me, it makes it seem like he knows that he sold himself out, for success.
Do you think that he knows the price of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, on some level for sure.
What do you think, Uncle? Do you think that he absolutely knew the price to pay for that?
I don't think so. I feel like people who are saved know the price of that for real. I feel like I feel like pop culture makes going to hell popular. They like it. They like the idea. They think it's a party.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it, that does make sense. If somebody doesn't know, they just go along to get along kind of deal, they don't know. So no, I can totally understand that that angle for sure.
Yeah, and I would also say it depends on how deep they are into Satanism, because Satanists know for sure. They know.
Well, that's
You
what I'm
know,
saying.
so
Yeah.
yeah, Satanists know for sure. So if he just fully accepted the fact that yeah, he's involved in Satanism, so at a particular point, who knows when he reached that point? So once he reached that point where you like, yeah, they reached the full enlightenment, they know, you know, that what their cost is going to be. So at the particular point of writing these lyrics, who knows if he knew at this particular time?
Right.
But yeah, I feel like Satanists know for sure.
So would you say somebody like Lady Gaga knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she's afraid of sleeping alone in her bed at night
Yeah,
because she
right.
say the spirits come and attack her, so she knows.
Yeah, Java and I talk about that all the time, and I believe I think there's other artists that kind of feel that way too. No, right? Who
Yeah,
else?
that one creepy chick, Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
She can't sleep alone, so yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's go to the third verse. Who's got the third verse?
I'll go ahead. Now I'm lost and I'm weary, so many tears. I'm suicidal, so don't stand near me. My every move is a calculated step to bring me closer to embracing early death. Now there's nothing left. There was no mercy on the streets. I couldn't rest. I'm barely standing, about to go to pieces, screaming peace. And though my soul was deleted, I couldn't see it. I had my mind full of demons trying to break free. They planted seeds and they hatched, sparking the flame inside my brain like a match. Such a dirty game. No memories, just a misery, painting a picture of my enemies killing me in my sleep. Will I survive till the morning to see the sun? Please, Lord, forgive me for my sins, because here I come.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's a heavy verse, man.
Ooh.
And I think he doesn't mean figurative, metaphorical demons, because he uses the word they planted seeds. You know, I think he actually means demons.
Yeah, they are legion.
Literal,
They are many.
literal demons.
Yeah.
Let's start here with for the top on the. Now I'm lost and I'm weary, so many tears. I'm suicidal, so don't stand near me. My every move is a see, and that's the thing too, man.
These people are destined. My every move is a calculated step.
It's
like,
calculated.
They're destined.
Yep. to bring me closer to embrace an early death. Now there's nothing left. And this is weird because the celebrities that we see now that are so heavily into this, and like I said, the latest one is Doja Cat. We see it, man. We see exactly what this line says right here. You know, it's a calculated step to bring them closer to an early death. There was no mercy on the streets. I couldn't rest. There you go, man. I couldn't rest. I'm barely standing. About to go to pieces, screaming peace. And though my soul was deleted, I couldn't see it. So does that mean he's already sold his soul? If his soul if he says that his soul is deleted?
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
That's what I get.
I had my mind full of demons trying to break free. So if he said that his soul was already deleted, does that mean now he's gotten to the point where he kind of realizes what he's done, that he's trying to break free now? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They planted seeds and they hatched, sparking the flame. That could be demons, right? Sparking the flame, planting seeds inside my brain like a match. Such a dirty game. No memory, just a misery. Painting a picture of my enemies killing me in my sleep. Man.
I mean, in some ways, it's almost like they're prepping him for the ritual sacrifice.
Will I survive till the morning to see the sun? See, that's a thing too, man. To see the sun. Please, Lord, forgive me. Forgive me for my sins, because here I come. See, and that this is weird, man, because now he's asking for the Lord to forgive him for his sins after he's already explained all this in verse 3, and even in the prior verses too. where he's saying that he's struggling in the business by any means, which means he's doing all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is a heavy, really heavy song. He's projecting.
It's really sad.
It does feel like a doom kind of song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the beat of it just sounds so. It sounds like doom.
Yeah, melancholy. It's just ugh.
Anything else you guys want to add on to the lyrics here, or say anything about the lyrics?
Yeah, I'm good. It's pretty cut and dry, man. It's
Yeah.
straight wickedness. Like it's straight
Yep.
glorifying death, and he was just ready for it. He just knew, like, yeah, I'm a sacrifice. I'm here. Let's do this.
Well, you know he wore the medallion of an angel of death, right?
Yeah, like it was a play on euthanasia.
Yeah. Let me try to pull that up. Tupac. Oops. I want to get a picture of when he's wearing it. No, not the death row chain. Dude, look at this picture right here. Tell me that doesn't tell me that doesn't that tell you that he knows something's
Yeah,
about
he looks
to happen?
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at his eyes, man. You see the fear, you see the sadness, you see him. I get the feeling of he's trying to plead for something, but it looks like it's doom, just like that song, man. Let me find that medallion though. Medallion, Angel of Death. Here it is.
Oh yeah, there it is.
It's a little bit blurry, but there it is. Like he's already marked himself for he's already marked himself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at some point he knew that he was definitely gonna give the ultimate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if he was involved in picking what the final album cover would look like. I wonder if he was involved with that.
Oh, I'm sure.
So that's creepy stuff there, man. Is this another picture of it? Looks like a serpent right there, huh? Yeah.
Man, that's sick. Yeah, and it
looks like a serpent right there.
And it means euthanasia.
That's the same one, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, man. Tupac. Sad to, I mean, I used to be all into Tupac, man. But it's I'm glad that the Lord has opened my eyes and helped me to see what I needed to see.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's get into some numbers about this song. I got some stuff to show you.
Yeah, let us get into some numbers here. If you want to share your screen for anything, just go ahead and write. You're good to go.
All right, let's do this. Let's go. Let me see. I've never screen shared on this platform, but I'll do the best I can. Let me see. I'm gonna do a share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me show the people out there. Let me see if they can see it. Yeah, they can see it. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, they can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now I get into the numbers. I'm a numbers girl because these numbers tell stories. Period. This stuff is happening on a spiritual level. So when you told me we were going to be discussing this particular song, that's immediately what I went into. So this song, So Many Tears, was released as a single on June 13th, 1995. So as of right now, we've got the number of rebellion, which is 13.
Mm-hmm.
June, that's Gemini season. Tupac was a Gemini.
Yep.
Gemini season. All right.
Yeah.
So we can go ahead, look down here.
His birthday's in June 16th.
Yep, June 16th.
Mm-hmm.
So June 13th, 1995 was the 164th day of the year on the Gregorian calendar. So we've got this number right here. 1 + 6 + 4 is 11. That's the number of magic. Just off the bat, we got magic right here. We've got magic in rebellion. There were 201 days left remaining until the end of the year. Now, if we know what 201 is, that's event 201 for the crown virus. Now, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Tabletop exercise for the crown virus, right?
Yep.
So this is already linking him to the largest ritual ever experienced in humanity. In human history, you can look up. There's never been a ritual as large as the crown virus, right?
Yep. That is true. Because it
So
was
check this
worldwide.
out.
It was worldwide too. So yeah, you're
Absolutely.
right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now check this out. Now we've got crown virus. We've got event 201. Who was president at the time? Donald T. Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump is the Gemini. Donald Trump's birthday is June 14th. So this song was release date was almost the same date as his birthday, right? Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So let's check this out. Now I looked up the mirror date of the release date of this song. Since there were 201 days left until the remaining of the end of the year, to find the mirror date, you look up what is the 201st day of the year. The 201st day of the year is July 20th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I looked into what notable events happened on July 20th. That was the moon landing, allegedly, where it says Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin allegedly landed on the moon. So that's already Satan trying to ascend above the throne of God.
Right. Yes.
It's linked all to these dates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is all like crowning of the Antichrist ritual type stuff.
Oh, wow.
Okay. This stuff goes deep, guys. So I took it a step further. I looked up the song here. Here's a Wikipedia article for So Many Tears. All right. So June 13th, we already did that. Song released 1995. So the track length is 3 minutes and 58 seconds, right? Hang on. I had a note here and I lost it. All right, I forgot what I found about that, but it's crazy. I'm gonna keep going. But look, since this is connected to Donald T. Trump, I looked into the album, right? The album that the song was on was Me Against the World. This album was released on March 14th, 1995.
Hold on. Wait. Because if you're making okay, so if you're making a connection with Trump, and the album is titled Me Against the World, what do you think is happening right now?
Yes, absolutely. See, you just took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, dude.
So check this out. This album was released on March 14th, 1995. When did Donald Trump declare the national emergency? Friday, March 13th. It's almost the same day.
Interesting.
Okay. Check this out. The track length is 66 minutes. 66 is the number of Apollo. Album length. The full album length of all the songs on this album is 66 minutes. That's the number of Apollo. Now check this out. Trump Tower has 58 floors. But the highest suite, he specifically numbered it number 66, and it's decked out in Apollo statues.
What? You got pictures of that?
We can find some. Let's see. Probably should have queued that up.
Type in there Apollo decoration or decor or something.
Ring a ding ding.
Oh man, look at that, dude.
Apollo is all over the 66th floor suite. All over his personal suite. Apollo is everywhere. If there's only 58 floors in this building, but they specifically numbered the top floor 66. Okay, and this connects him to the crown virus, right?
That is crazy. Yeah.
It's wild. So now, in that screenshot that you had, right?
Which
We're
one?
showing his tattoo. Let's go
Okay.
back to his tattoos. Pull this up. I'm about to blow y'all socks off real quick.
You want me to pull it up or are you gonna pull it up?
I don't have it. Should I stop sharing my screen? And then I'm gonna bring my screen back up when I do.
Yeah.
I don't have a link. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. I want to show y'all something real quick on that screenshot with the tattoos.
Hold on, because I have it here. Did you stop sharing? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, let me share it. Let me share it with the folks out there. Okay. Yeah, we got it up.
Okay. So check this out. So when the crown virus was first detected or whatever, when they first declared it, whatever it was, an eclipse formed over China that formed a smiley face. Smile now. What was this whole thing over? Masks, right?
Yep.
So in another 19 years, there's going to be another eclipse that's going to form a sad face over China. And you got the cry later.
What? Do you have pictures of those? Or do you have a picture of the smiling face? You're talking about the
I didn't know he had these tattoos on his back, so I didn't know this was going to be a connection until we did the show. I just thought of this just now as you were looking at his tattoos. That's why I didn't want to mention it earlier. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. He's connected to the crown virus with the eclipses. The first eclipse forms a smiley face over China. The next one is going to form a sad face.
It already has formed a smiley face, right?
Yes, that was the first one. That happened in 2019.
Hold on. 2019. It was a lunar, right? Was it a lunar?
Yeah.
Lunar eclipse? China, you said?
Yeah. It formed a sad face. So I would have tried to pull it up, but I didn't know Pac had those tattoos. I didn't know he had masks on his back, and that's connected to the ritual, literally, like freaking masks.
I'm not seeing anything here.
Hold on, go down. Scroll back down. What? Keep going. Okay, is that it? What is that?
Which one?
It's sad face right there. I don't know what that is. On the bottom left there. Keep going over to the left. Yo, what's that?
This one? Lunar Eclipse 2019 map? It's a map.
See the sad see the one that's highlighted? It's making like a sad face. What is it over though? Is that over
wait,
particular count?
If you're counting from the left, which one?
So the thickest blue line. The picture that's all the way to the right now. It's kind of like highlighted now. You got to load it up.
This one right here? Oh no. This one right here.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. See the thickest blue line? Is that forming a sad face? Is that the one?
Right here?
Yeah. Is that it?
I don't know.
But I didn't know this was gonna be a thing. I didn't know he had the mask tattoos, or I would have pulled it up. I would have tried to find the picture of the eclipse, but there was a sad face eclipse over China. And then the next one that occurs is going to be a smiley face. And then all the celebrities had that song called Smile.
I'm trying to look for the picture. Oh, here it is. I think this is a solar. No, it's a solar eclipse. This one is a solar. See? It's a solar.
It's crazy, y'all. So I would have pulled it up, but I didn't know he had those masks on his back talking about smile now, cry later. Like that's literally connecting him to the ritual.
I'm trying to find the pictures here. Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah, we might not be able to find it like while we on spot, but I try to look it up. But yeah, I'll share a couple more points with you, but we can move on because I don't know how long we've been on, but that's crazy, right?
Yep.
So he has literal masks tattooed on his back.
Yeah, he does. Do you want me to go back to the tattoo picture?
Oh, nope.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
We good. So now So Many Tears was recorded in 1994. Now Tupac was 23 years old at the time. 2 divided by 3.666.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just more crazy numbers here, right? So, we were so far ahead in my notes. The symbology of that album title, like just literally us against the world, like against these fallen angels, essentially have declared war on us.
Me Against the World.
Mm-hmm. That's the album that this song was on. So when you think about the crown virus ritual, it's against everybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm following. Yeah, I'm tracking.
So let's see. Hang on. So the album released on March 14th, 1995. So that was the 73rd day of the year. So there were 292 days left remaining until the end of the year. So when you add all these numbers up, 2 plus 9 plus 2, that's number 13, yet again, the number of rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I mentioned earlier. That's when I looked into the mirror date of the album released, and the number 1 movie was 7.
Crazy, man.
So this stuff is wild, y'all.
They're meticulous, man. They're very meticulous. They plan these things accordingly.
Yep.
It's all ritualistic for sure.
Absolutely. And then just to prove that I'm not just pulling stuff out of the sky, connecting him with T-Rump. Now, I did a search to find out if T-Rump had ever had any like commentary on Tupac or anything like that. But just this year, in April 2023, Donald Trump's attorney said Trump is Tupac. Compared them both.
Do you have the video clip of that?
I found there was an article.
Yeah, do you have it?
Let's see. We can get it.
We're doing a lot of on the fly stuff here.
All right.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah. Real time research.
Let me see. What did I search to find it? Let me see.
Trump is Tupac.
He compared him to Tupac, like literally.
Oh yeah, you're on images.
I want to find the one. Trump's lawyer compares to Tupac and Biggie. Let me see. We can just find whatever. It's not the exact article I did have, but Donald Trump's lawyer causes outrage as she compared him to Tupac Shakur and Notorious B.I.G. Like, what are the freaking odds, yo? What are the odds? Donald Trump's attorney, Alina Abba, recently spoke about the client during an interview at a right-wing media podcast and claimed that the former POTUS is Tupac and Notorious B.I.G., and even said he can be compared to Jesus Christ himself. What did Tupac also do? Tupac also portrayed himself as Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this nuts?
Yep.
This just happened just this year.
April 4th, it says?
Yes, this was this year.
Crazy, man. Everybody's connected, man. Don't matter what team that you're in or you pick. If you're not in Team God, you're picking the world, and the world is full of all these dudes. Well,
That's it.
Even these chicks or these dudes, whatever. They're full of all these wicked people, man. It's crazy.
Yep,
they're both
that's
Geminis
wild.
too. Both of them are Geminis.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are both Geminis. So, and I'm going to give you one other thing. Now, Tupac died at the age of 25, right?
He was part of the 27 Club, yeah.
Why was Donald Trump born exactly 25 years before Tupac?
Huh?
Tupac died at the age of 25,
Mm-hmm.
but Donald Trump was born 25 years before Tupac. I think that's creepy.
That's kind of debatable. I mean, there could be, I don't know. When it comes to something like that, it could be chance, you know. Although I really heavily don't believe in chance, but
Yeah,
I think there's
I don't believe in coincidence, especially when there's this many synchronicities.
the synchronicities.
The more of them there are, it makes it all locked together pretty much.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as like people being born in certain times, we don't really, unless they're really that meticulous about how they do their rituals, then yeah, I can definitely see that. But you know, when it comes to the birth thing, that's
especially with them both being Geminis. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that itself it's a trip right there that they're both, and all the connections of just the connections of what you were explaining earlier. The man, I'm blanking my mind. Never mind. I lost my train of thought.
But this Zoom screen share is terrible because it has my tabs blocked and I can't see what other tabs I had up. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing. But yeah, that's just some of the stuff that I found. I'm actually doing a video myself where I go a bit further as to how Trump and Tupac relate. It goes very deep. It's sick, man. But just to know that he had those masks tatted on his back with the smile now, cry later, that's crazy. And you know, the masks were the biggest debate with the crown ritual.
And they're probably going to start to implement stuff again. That's the rumor.
They want to, but
that's the rumor.
I don't know if anyone's gonna go for it.
Well, I've already seen some people out there wearing their thing.
I mean, the brainwashed maybe, but
the people that want to play, right?
Yeah, they're wearing them already. Like they just love
yeah,
it.
they're wearing them like already, not even before all this stuff.
Crazy. Anything else you want to add, Uncool or Java, before we go to the music video here?
Nope, I'm good, man.
That sure is interesting. All the numerical angle on it all.
It is.
Wow,
it is. That's what they do, man. That's how they do their magic. You know.
Yeah.
They definitely do a lot of numerology stuff, and look, I'm not one to be into that stuff, but when things are being shown to me, and it's jiving, you know, it jives with me, so it makes sense. So it just blows my mind. Because I didn't even know this whole thing that it connected to Trump too. I didn't know that. But now that you put it out there, I was like, wow, that is very, it's very interesting to know. I mean, like, I didn't even know that. Now it sparks a curiosity of me wanting to kind of look more into it too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it keeps going too. It just doesn't stop because it's like the largest psyops in every industry. Somehow T-Rump is connected. Somehow, whether it be food, education, movies, music, sports, somehow T-Rump is connected. It's the craziest thing.
It is, isn't
crazy.
It? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Java, you got anything?
Let's show the video.
Okay. So unfortunately for the YouTubers, I gotta kill the stream here because you know I gotta play the game in order for this channel to thrive. So if you want to come over and join us on other platforms, you're more than welcome to. I believe I do have my. Give me a minute here because I can't multitask. So I do have my Twitch channel up. I have my Twitter and also Foxhole if you want to come over and hang out with us just to for the breakdown of the music video. And I'm pretty sure Uncool has a lot of things to say about that, the music video.
And
yeah.
I just want to share Miss Masslow's comment real quick. She says, so Trump turned 50 the year Pac died. 50 signifies new beginning. I'm telling you, there's a reason why he was born exactly, 25 years before. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy.
So is it like passing down the torch, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that's the true definition of time travel is demonic possession. They're passing the same demons,
The same spirit through different through different people.
Yeah.
That is very plausible. I can definitely believe that. But this is weird how, because I didn't even think of the Trump angle, to be honest. Honestly, I didn't even have any thought of it connecting to Trump, but now that you brought it up, I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. It's an interesting thing to see. I was so focused on where Pac was in all this thing.
Yeah,
And
I didn't know about it myself. That's why I was so excited to do the stream, because once you sent me the invite a couple days ago, and then I looked into it and I saw all the numbers, and I'm like, wait, these numbers remind me of you know who, and it just blew my mind. And I'm like, what the heck?
And also definitely this gave me a different perspective of what Pac was like. Although the whole conspiracy things with the Illuminati and all that stuff is out there, when I looked at it in a biblical sense, this begins to tell me that he definitely came to mock Christ. And that just blew my mind. And as I was doing the research to this, I was like, man, and to think that I used to freaking like I used to like almost worship the dude. That's how big of a fan that I was, man. I even cried when he died, man. That's how.
Oh man,
that's how deep it was. With I was
seriously,
bro.
bro.
I was a fan, dude. I was a fan. I was a fan. I was like, man, my favorite rapper just died. But yeah, it's funny how God works. He
absolutely
he makes you go through these things to show you things, and he knows where you're gonna end up, right? So once you end up to where he knows where you're gonna end up, and you start looking at things in a more spiritual eye, you're like, wow, that's the reason why I went through what I went through, because I was being shown these things, because it'll validate it. Like in the future, things will be validated just by me observing it and then looking at scriptures and saying, wow, this is so. Absolutely, God has a really awesome way of communicating with people, man. He does, but you can't have that unless you're actually in relationship with him. So I always will say, I always say, have a relationship with him, especially these days that we're going through right now, man. It's getting really, really, the moves are being made right now. Many moves are being made that we don't even know. Like, they're just being made, and it's getting fast. The world is changing fast. So I would definitely stress out on that. I always stress out on that all the time when I have my fellowship shows, is to, have a relationship, man, because the time's ticking for you. Time ain't ticking for me. All I got to do is try to strengthen up my relationship with Christ, but you're the one whoever's on the fence, you're the one you're on the clock. Like you're the one who has a time limit here, not me. So, that's just me spreading what I spread out there. Anyhow, anything you guys want to say to the YouTube fans, the YouTube people out there before we go?
I just like to thank them for taking the time out of their day to stop by and listen to the stream. I just really appreciate everybody who came by and shared their wisdom and knowledge and support in the chat. And it means everything.
Same here. I apologize for not interacting, but the multitasking here gets too crazy for me that I have to focus on my co-hosts and like changing of screens and stuff. So I appreciate all you guys that come through. And I know if it wasn't for, because I know Uncool has a bigger following than me. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't get the numbers that I have today. I want to thank you, Uncool, for helping this channel out a lot.
Man, of course. I really appreciate the invite. It's an honor to have been invited to your channel to discuss this with you. I appreciate it, man. I was happy to do it.
We're family here. You know what I'm saying? We're family here. Java, is there anything that you want to share with the YouTubers?
I just stay positive, stay in the God's love, and stay strong. And with the days to come, it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, man. Put your seatbelts on, man.
Yep. All
right, YouTubes. Well, I appreciate your you guys coming by, and I'll try to be on again tomorrow for fellowship. If you haven't followed me already, please do so. You can also follow me on the social medias out there, whatever is on the tree link, because I post my schedules there too. So you guys have a wonderful day. Once again, thank you so much for just hanging out here with us tonight. You guys have a good day, and hope to catch you guys on fellowship. And be on the lookout for my next random read tomorrow.